Sean Penn, he endorses people who are probably going to be nothing more than what we've had over and over and over again. They do not represent us. I'm a veteran of the United States Armed Forces. He talks about veterans, but many veterans have been abused by the government. I was a federal bank examiner. I was forcibly injected. I was tortured for years. Some veterans were used in experiments and forced injections also. There's proof of that at Mobile Audit Club. You can find it by searching for it online, like Mobile, M-O-B-I-L-E, Audit Club. And look for the continuing problems link. If you go down to the bottom of that page, you'll see continuing problems. That is not my site. They did forced injection experiments on veterans at Los Angeles, VA, and Westwood in 1999. I made the mistake of parking there in 2001. I was forcibly injected and detained. I was basically tortured for years, forced to sign documents, and all because I worked at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, survived an attempt on my life, started carrying a gun, had a sheriff take my gun permit when I was going to report he was stealing inmate food funds. There were starving inmates. It was actually approved. Sean Penn needs to take a wake-up call. In the real world, we mean nothing. This sheet here behind me was given to me by the USS Reed FFG-30. I served there in the military. The ship has been sold to Turkey. It's been named the USS Jelly Bolu. I call it the USS Jelly Bolus, the floating feces. How can you have any election that's not from an auditor's perspective, you cannot have any election that is reliable or relevant with the current operating systems that they use to gather votes. All materially significant elections are a ruse. I'm blocked from my own government in my native city. If I had Sean Penn's money, maybe I would have not been forcibly injected by the regime in power. I'm asking for $112 million. That's how many days I spent in jail in L.A. County after I was forcibly injected for daring to own a gun, for daring to try to preserve my own life, when the federal government would not respond to my contacts with them about what had happened to me in an attack on my life in 2001, in February 2001. Sean Penn needs to wake up. The mass media lie doesn't play as well on YouTube. Have a good day. Anybody want this plank on their paper, they can wipe their butt with it along with all those discharges. I encourage people not to serve the United States military. They betray you once you serve them. They do not care. Once the doors are closed, they will inject anyone. They started doing this in profusion since 2001. Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada. Under the Chapter 36 law, basically anybody who wants to inject you can get it improved. What they are and what they do, who knows? We know they're criminal and corrupt in the government. It springs from Washington, D.C. and probably internationally. What is the solution? What we need is good leaders. We're not seeing those. Then it wouldn't be an issue. It'll be more of the same. Sean Penn, get me a job out there in Hollywood, if there's any jobs left. We're all YouTubers now. I'll work for free. Anyway, here on the USS Reed, Jelly Bolus, adios.